Yes, brothers and sisters, we are finally back. We are finally made it to another one, another reaction on this here. Brbptv. Be real, be positive television, brothers and sisters. I do appreciate every single one of you guys, including those who have given their thoughts as well. Not just listening to my thoughts, of course, this is why I give my thoughts on a number of things. But of course, individuals out there leaving their thoughts, you know, on subject matters that we tend to discuss on this here Brbptv as well as the Mr. Leaks reaction, guys. I would not be dropping one on the Mr. Leaks reaction, guys, for now. And you never know, anything can happen, brothers and sisters, but we are pretty much focused on this Brbptv reactions today, brothers and sisters. So I do appreciate you guys for leaving your thoughts. Leave your thoughts in these comments in the comment box below as well. And of course, guys, let us get into the vibrations, but don't forget to do what, brothers and sisters? Hit that like button. I would appreciate that right there and then. Hit that like button, smash that like button, of course, helping the algorithms to push these videos further and further. And of course, without further ado, brothers and sisters, let us get into the vibrations for today right there. Now, brothers and sisters, what you're looking at is suitcases, chairs, some individuals out there, and a tall roof, brothers and sisters. Why exactly would that be the case? Why we are filming this, especially in the silence? First of all, I did not take out the volume. The individual was filming this, most likely took out the volume. But this is actually Dominicans, brothers and sisters. Most of the suitcases that you've seen here are Dominican suitcases in Barbados. Now, Barbados actually there was a flight, I think, from Barbados that came to Dominica. But unfortunately, there was circumstances that took place. I think one of them was the indication of weather. But there was a flight that came to Dominica, and it was rather interesting what was happening. I actually saw it on the status of an individual who went to the airport, and he indicated that sentiment right there. Individuals came to Dominica on a late flight, indicated that on arrival there was literally no lighting. Apparently there was some sort of lighting issues at the airport in relation to the generator. I remember the individual who went to pick up some individuals said that there was no lighting in the airport, so the people had to fly back. And of course, we're seeing this, right? This is as a result of these people now having to, you know, try to come to Dominica, and, you know, they have to be flown back to Barbados, and I'm guessing they have to be flown to Dominica once again. You know, that can be a talala. And it's, brothers and sisters, keep in mind, this is not the first time we've been hearing these kind of things, but I don't know, the generator apparently stopped working. For this instance, we've heard of American Airlines constantly going back to whether to Miami or they landing in some Caribbean island when there's a weather system. There was some sort of interesting weather system, which would make sense. But the generator one doesn't make any sense to me, brothers and sisters. Couldn't you guys have backup generators and these kind of things working? Furthermore, is the airport running on generator? Which is another story right there. Anyways, brothers and sisters, so the plane had to end up turning back and head to Barbados after circling 3 times. Maybe the people at the airport were like, you know, guys, you know what, let's conserve. A lot of people coming in, let us conserve the electricity, you know, so we can treat the diasporas as kings and queens when they come to Dominica. Give them the best experience that they will ever have, brothers and sisters. And, you know, but apparently some of them did not get to face that in the beginning, you know. But they say there's some sort of generator problem. We're back with electrical problems again. I wonder if these are the generators that the Prime Minister stated that they took for the government to give to Dominic. Anyways, moving along right there, brothers and sisters. This is why it is very much in need. Dominica is very much in need of an international airport. And hopefully our international airports will not be functioning by generators. It'll actually have current flowing on a natural basis. But we are talking about the international airport, brothers and sisters, and of course the making of the international airport. As you can see right there, there's some individuals. I have no clue who these individuals were or are, but people have been sending me, I think about 3 or 4 people sent this to me, so I figured, hey, might as well touch this since as a result of this video right there.
I read a document this weekend that literally itemized the whole idea of Dominica having an international airport from then to now. Dominica has been trying to have an international airport since 1970. Right? This year, I believe July it is, will be 54 years since Dominica has been trying to have an international airport.
And it's rather interesting that Dominica would have had an international airport in 2000. The process was already had already begun. And it's unfortunate that when the government came in, they did not want to associate with the president. This is what I don't understand about political parties. There's something that is happening, and for fear of saying, oh, but we started a project and only just build on it, that is for, they just decided, you know what, let us just forget these plans that the previous administration did and decide to do our own. That is more expense again on top of the back of Dominicans. For partisan politics, brothers and sisters, partisan. Because you read and, oh, it's blue that started it, and they had, blue, brothers and sisters, United Workers Party had already done pretty much most of the work, if not all the work that had needed to be done for the international airport to be commenced. The ground stuff was done, the testing of the ground and all these kind of things. They brought experts and all the things, linking up with Cuba and so forth, doing a number of things, brothers and sisters, for the international airport to come in. The next administration came in, and they pretty much halted that thing right there because it was a previous administration to do it. For donkey years, we had the present prime minister talking about, oh, they want to build international airport, saying, oh, and it has gone from, guys, we're going to be building the international airport, to guys, we will not be able to maintain this international airport, to guys, we will start back the international airport, to guys, we put in monies together so that we can build the international airport, to guys, the money's disappear, well, not necessarily disappear, but the money finished and it went to other things apparently. to the money finishing, brothers and sisters, to then we are coming back to make Chinese build the airport, to then Chinese say we have no dealings in sponsoring building airports, to then China will coming to come, boy. And on top of that, brothers and sisters, to the taking away of the people of Wesley and these other places, taking away the land and all sorts of extra money being spent for no reason when the plans and everything were there already. All they needed to do was to continue building upon it, and the international airport would have been there today.
Mm-hmm. I mean, and if persons are really, listen, there are ways to go about things. If you agree with certain things, there are ways to go about it. But the whole politicizing of it, I did not even hear the incident that our comrade there spoke to with this person who was making noise for money. That goes back to what I was saying before. You're loud and making noise for money. You don't have a title. The land is not yours, but you are seeking to be mischievous. Why?
Well, I mean, if the person has claim to the land as a result of squatting on the land, the person might not have title, but the person may have possession of that land. They may not have the title of the land. They then have to prove that they have been staying on this squatting and have squatters' rights. There's a term called this thing in Dominica. So if somebody has been staying on a land for 15 years, based off the laws of Dominica, that person has claim to that land. Especially if that land is not owned by anybody at all. Government land, obviously, the person has been squatting. The person needed to get the title. The problem I have noticed is on the basis of individuals saying we have not gotten our titles because the government has not given us our titles, or whoever is in charge did not give us the titles of the land. But if they have squatters' rights, squatters have rights, brothers and sisters. And if they have right to the land and all, you're saying, okay, come out there, only that title. But they have some rights. You need to pay these people. That makes sense. I know it kind of looks like it's an advantage for them, but the laws are the laws, brothers and sisters. You can't just decide, oh, we're going to go against the laws. No, that is not the case at all. So I understand your sentiment of saying they don't have title. Yes, true. But if they have squatters' rights, and they have a claim to the land that they have been on for donkey years, if they can actually prove they have been on the land for donkey years. So that is not a point to be made.
People need to understand that this is not a Roosevelt Skerritt, just a Roosevelt Skerritt project, People need to sit down and count the fact, count how this is going to transform the Northeast and how this is even going to transform Dominica on a whole.
I understand your sentiment. I do agree with you on that point. But the international airport would have been built already. Instead, they decided to go counter to what the previous administration had done for them to start their own. To say, and just wasting money, just wasting billions of dollars, just wasting money just like that.
I mean, for certain.
And there's a point you made about politics. Yes, the airport is politics. You may be talking about partisan, but the airport is politics. Policies being put in place to ensure that the Dominicans have equal access and all those kind of things there to the airport, on the basis of it being built by the backs of the Dominican birthright. It is then the people's own, and therefore it's the people's own, then policies must be put in place to say, okay guys, this is what's going to happen and all those kind of things there. And also accounting to the people, which is very strange to me because there's hardly any accounting. People don't even know if the international airport is building, or the Chinese are building settlements there, or they are mining the place for copper. People don't even know exactly what's going on. We hear is international airport that been built. We have been hearing this for donkey years, and it has fallen, constantly fallen. It has showed no progress. Now we're seeing people cutting land, and all of a sudden we're supposed to believe these people that build international airport. We have to see the airport and touch it first.
Certain things we must be able to put aside petty political nonsense. I don't have a problem.
Petty political nonsense, that is politics, my brother. All you need to Google what politics is, Google.
I'm a man playing politics. Politics is the game. You play your politics and whatever and so on. But do not try to deliberately mislead people into thinking, hey, I am so aggrieved. These people owe me money, they're not paying me. And if it is that the host on that program did ask the woman about her if she had a title, I find that's commendable. More journalists should be asking and holding these people to account.
They should be holding the government to account too. I was going to give an example, but let me leave that there. They should be holding the government accountable. And a question that should be asked to the government is, I'll put it a different way, is how do you secure the individuals who have squatters' rights? How do you secure the individuals who have squatters' rights? I don't think any journalist has asked the government this. They may have, but it seems like this question is up in the air because there seems to have not been any answer for it. Because there is squatters' rights, and I understand you making this sentiment, if they can prove that they have been on the land, they have squatters' rights. And squatters' rights indicate that they have title, they need to get the title to the land that they have been squatted on.
Right? Because their children and their children, the persons who are in close proximity to the airport, right? We who are in close proximity to the airport, Marigot, Wesley, Woodford Hill, Calibishi, Carib Territory, Concord, Portsmouth even. These are the people who are in line to benefit the most.
How? They get jobs to work at the airport? Sure. But even on the sustainability factor of people coming into the airport and, flying to Dominica and coming to stay, that means people have to prepare to do certain things. If you need accommodation, you need vendors, all those kind of things there. Where exactly would they be? And don't get me wrong, people will benefit because of the airport. But you have to look at the sustainability factor of the airport as well. Because one of the very Prime Minister himself raised that question, stating that Dominica cannot support the international airport. He stated this some time back. So that is another question we need to raise. It's not just me saying things, brothers and sisters. That literally came from the Prime Minister's mouth.
Mm-hmm. When this airport is complete, the Dominican economy on a whole, I mean, look at the amount of hotels that we have been constructed right now.
Mm-hmm. How many people stay in the hotels? And I keep pointing back to American Airlines. Don't get me wrong, brothers and sisters, we need an international airport, especially for this kind of circumstance that we saw there. We need it. We need it, brothers and sisters, but we have to be realistic in the whole thing. It's not just saying we need the international airport. You have to be able to say, okay, we need to put things into place. This is why I believe the first thing that we should have done is look into agriculture, and then when agriculture makes surplus and all these kind of things there for Dominica, we can then put it in to maintain our very airport. And don't get me wrong, brothers and sisters, we need the international airport. The sustainability factor is another thing right there.
My only regret, I was in Dominica the other day, and my only regret was that I did not get to drive up to Loda to see what was happening with the geothermal and the cable car.
Cable car, yeah.
Yeah, but my
Cable car was a good idea. Cable car was a very good idea. Hopefully it gets done, in time,
my comrade Monty took a drive up there and he videoed it and he posted it on his page, right? And you see the amount of work that is going on up there. People should remember when the rainforest aerial tram was in place, the amount of Dominicans that were employed.
So why did it stop? If we had an aerial tram before and we did, and the aerial tram, was doing okay from my understanding, because I used to see a number of persons going on the aerial tram, back and forth. Great. Why did it stop in the first place? That's a good question to ask, isn't it?
I think there are certain things that you should play politics with, and there are certain things that you should not. And so
everything you studied there was politics. Every single thing that you studied there was politics. It was political. Everything. From the aerial tram to the airport to the movement, all these things are a part of politics.
What I would suggest, I think we should educate Dominicans on the history of our attempts as a nation to have an international airport.
It's not attempts, bro. We would have had an international airport already. It would have been there already, brothers and sisters. The works were done. All these things were being put in place. So the next time the United Workers' Party would have come in, they would have finished the international airport. So by 2005, we would have had a fully functioning international airport. But then when the other administration came in and dismantled this, hey, we don't want to build on this. I remember the previous stadium, they uproot what was happening in the stadium to build an indoor gymnasium, brothers and sisters. They uproot it and they throw it in the sea. And then they build that kind of thing that they call a sports stadium there, which apparently most music festivals seem to be more. They should call it a music festival stadium. Because even the forecourt being used more for musical events than sports. Correct me if I'm wrong, brothers and sisters. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Because it started in 1970 with E.O. LeBlanc, right? Mm-hmm. And every successive government has tried to make this into a reality. And so let's call a spade, right? I have no problem with people opposing because they support the UWP or whatever the case may be. But let us really be real. The United Workers' Party government from 1995 to 2000, right, did not think that having an international airport was a fallacy or was a bad idea.
The one I know that thought of this as a bad idea was the very Prime Minister presently. He stated that we could maintain the international airport. So he's right.
They took steps to try to make it a reality.
Yes,
they failed in that regard. But it took steps to make it a reality.
With what?
I submit to you steps to make it a reality. Took steps to try to make it a reality. They failed in that regard.
How they failed? The project did not continue doesn't mean it failed. How they fail? I don't understand. Help me understand, brothers and sisters, those who are listening out there. Let me understand in the comment box below.
But it took steps to make it a reality.
How they fail?
I submit to you.
At least to make us, they took steps to make us believe.
Well,
oh, they take steps, and then all you saying the treasury was empty as a result, but the money was being allocated to about $200 million being allocated for the international airport. Are these people labor rights, brothers and sisters? I don't know. I just getting the sentiment right there.
Okay. No, but the point I want to make is this. I would like to think that if in the 1990s you thought that Dominica could benefit from an international airport, it's not now, Papa Boje. We in the 2000s, right? We in 2024, right? That you can tell me that you do not see the need for this airport.
So the opposition is telling you they don't see the need for the airport? Brothers and sisters, which opposition? Oh my God. Which opposition is saying that they don't need for the international airport? I think if the opposition has to say anything based on the trajectory that Dominica is going, Dominica doesn't look like it can be able to sustain the international airport at present. Mesami, we have a set of people owing, brothers and sisters. We have 1.900,000 US dollars owing to MSU. We have over 3.1 million EC dollars owing to Grambling. If more or less, brothers and sisters, Monroe they owe. Cuba self they don't get in stipend, brothers and sisters, at present. People complain and say, last Papa, I did the reaction, you know, right from Cuba that came from, not from me that was going to find picture and post, you know, brothers and sisters. This came from Cuba and their breakfast and lunch that they're giving them. So when people come to say, oh, at present, oh, if they could do it back then was much better than it is now. So I would understand this sentiment if they're saying, brothers and sisters, you know, we will not be able to sustain the international airport. No, I would agree with that. Back then, if they say they could, even with Rosie Douglas say, guys, you know, we can believe. I agree with him there. But right now, brothers and sisters, if we can't pay a set of things, we owe people how much money? And then we're going to bring a heavy expense on Dominica. Don't get me wrong, you know, I, brothers and sisters, remember, it's not me. I need the international airport. Me. But when it comes down to the sustainability factor of the airport, is that conducive for where Dominica is today? We need the international airport. We need it, brothers and sisters. I personally need it. Hey, you think I like jumping from country to country, saying sightseeing or touring I doing across the place?
You may disagree on the location, and that is fine.
But the location was they stated that they had to do boreholes. They had to dig boreholes. How much boreholes? I would take about 4 years to do. So if they stated that they're gonna be doing boreholes and they're not sure if the location is correct and they have to do boreholes, I mean, you planning an international airport without doing the land testing before? We don't do the land testing before. But remember, brothers and sisters, it's not just saying you build an international. They can build international airport, you know. But if the other airlines say, hey, I don't find this is conducive for us to land, they will not land there. They will not. You have to show them proof that the heavy planes can land and bring, you know, have a sustainability faction there. Can't just say, oh, build international airport and that's it.
Everybody can agree and disagree. The point is, this government is in office now, and this government was able to succeed where others weren't.
More or less on the basis of, you know, raising the amount of monies and things that can be put to build the international airport. They indicated that they're going to be selling passports to raise to build international airport. So I agree on that basis right there. But when it comes down to the sustainability factor, brothers and sisters, I mean, we have to hope and pray.
Able to. And that's okay. But why are we trying to make this into a political football?
Because it is. You have to look at where the country is, where the country was, and where the country is going. Is the country going upwards, brothers and sisters? Keep in mind, I am not talking about my own personal. I'm looking at reasoning, brothers and sisters. Because I make it try to say that plenty. Because I know some of all you're going to come and meet me and say, Mr. Let's what the international airport? I need the international airport to work, brothers and sisters. I need it. If I was concerned about myself alone, guess what they're waiting for? Airport should have built already. It should have built since 2005. That should have been built already. A man can fly to Germany, brothers and sisters. Fly to Australia. Yes, we want to fly.
As if there's something untoward with it, right? When every successive government has tried to have an international airport.
And the one that was conducive, especially with the land and everything that was done, was under United Workers' Party. At present, we don't even know if what is being built is conducive. We don't know.
I submit these are the things that right-thinking Dominicans need to think of.
Right-thinking Dominicans look at reality, sir. They look at reality and see, hey, okay, they say this. We need the international airport. Can Dominica sustain it is the big question I must ask. Do you think Dominica can sustain the international airport, brothers and sisters? Let's say the international airport has been built today. Bow! With our present state in the economy, brothers and sisters, can we sustain the international airport?
About and are thinking about, right? The airport is going to be a game changer for the Dominican economy.
That's true.
I mean, mark my words.
That's true. It should be. But on the basis, I'd say it should be. It's ideal. Realistically, brothers and sisters, the only reference I can draw to at present is American Airlines having daily flights, and they had to cut back on their daily flights because there was not much people showing interest, even though there's how much hotels and those kind of things there being built in Dominica. Kepingski, brothers and sisters, what is Kepingski highest capacity? Was it 10%?
Absolutely.
Right? And every single fringe project and every single project that is surrounding that airport is going to be well subscribed in terms of persons employed, in terms of money turning over in the economy and all of these things. All of that is going to happen.
So I don't know. I really don't know how to think this. Yes, the airport is going to bring a level of money, brothers and sisters, but sustaining the airport is going to take millions upon millions of dollars as well. It's going to do that. And this is why I believe that the first thing that should have come in Dominica, don't get me wrong, you know, we need an international airport. I say that over and over and over. We need an international airport, brothers and sisters. But I think we put in the cart before the horse. What should have been done first was to improve the agricultural sector, get the different markets, provide factories so that factories can produce juice as well as other products, even getting into the herbal remedies as well. Looking at how the folks used to solve problems back in the day and go into that and perfecting that craft. This is why I think Axum is there. I think Axum wants to do some of these kind of things which I commend at school, if that is what they're exactly doing. Teaching a little alternative, you know, understanding carbon creatures, utilizing carbon remedies to solve carbon problems, brothers and sisters. Mucus, inflation, that is the greatest problems that the body can ever have, causing other problems to happen when it is sustaining the body for too long. That is why people tend to get sick. You know that? Mucus, Dr. Sebi actually stated this right there, and it's proven in science that what causes most of the issues in the human body is mucus. Mucus can be as a result of, like, you have some proper what do you call that again? Like when you get cold and you have phlegm and this kind of things there, mucus is created, white blood cells fighting and all those kind of things there, helping the body to better fight by providing herbal remedies and all those kind of things that can actually help. But anyways, that is not the international airport. But we should utilize agriculture first. And then when our agriculture has been bringing in a lot of monies, then we can take that monies, brothers and sisters, and then push it into the international airport to maintain and improve and all those kind of things there. What needs to be done? That is where I'm coming from, you know, brothers and sisters. That is where I'm coming from.
You know, most people sometimes what they have done, they would have tried to build the airport as successive governments had done, and then tried to build the infrastructure in place to support.
Mm-hmm.
That doesn't make any sense, sir. Because we have the hotels, and the hotels are not being filled. So, what are you saying, bro? I think we're pretty much focusing on the wrong things. We need to put things in place that will actually make people want to leave the ship and come out. I saw a video of people playing basketball in Dominica, you know, on the ship. They decided playing basketball on the ship while the older folks coming to tour. Some people going to sleep while they're on tour saying they're taking sunshine. Yeah, I saw some tour people passing on. Not all of them, you know, brothers and sisters. But as you can see, the people that tend to come into Dominica are the elderly folks. The elderly folks are living their life. They're living the best life right now. They don't have much energy, you know, but they're living their best life. So when they come in, brothers and sisters, you can tell, you know, it's a set of older folks that come in to see, hey, first time, hey, Dominica, what? Nice, what? They have nice bush and water, great. Nature, woo! We need to better our agricultural sector, brothers and sisters. I think that is what we should focus on. We're trying to focus on everything else, when the main thing that we're supposed to focus on is on agriculture, and then agriculture can just boom things. We can provide products, we can provide medicine, we can provide waters, we can provide air, we can provide all sorts of things. Being innovative and creative, bringing the right set of minds to come together, that will want to foster people to come to Dominica because surplus is being made. Instead of them having to go overseas to do the same jobs that they can do in Dominica just for a better pay. So when the money is coming in, that would help. We should not have lost Ross. We lose Ross. 40% of the GDP go, and we end up in that problems. It was bound to happen, brothers and sisters. So it's not that people want to just make up saying, oh, you don't need international airport and what is it? No, it's not about opposing. It's about reality. And it's very clear that the government owes a set of things, and you mean to tell me, Dominica, let me just finish that video here.
That is the one fundamental difference between what the Dominican Labour Party's government led by Roosevelt Skerrit has done and what every other successive government have done.
What?
Every single village in Dominica has a health center, up to date. You have brand new hospital in Marigot, a hospital in Roseau, right? You have many hotels being constructed. You have
brand new hospitals that are lacking a lot of equipment and stuff, even the basic stuff that we need to survive. See, that's one. So having nice buildings doesn't make a difference. You talk about hotels. Hotels are not being filled. Hotels are not being filled. You make hotels great. Some of these hotels that are being built were sponsored by the very government. Remember when the government gave loans to a number of businesses and hotels and this kind of things there? I can think of one particular one in the north of Dominica. We saw 1.5 or 1 million or how much it was ever that was there given to that hotel that couldn't pay it back because it's not sustainable. Remember the amount of businesses that owed the government monies because government gave them monies? It is me. You think it's me that was making up things, my brothers and sisters? I'm sure some of you remember when that list came out of businesses that owe in the government. A set of hotels was on it. And there was an understanding with the some of the hotels, the richer hotels are being pushed out there. The richer hotels are getting some. And some of them, don't get me wrong, some of the hotels are doing okay. Were they even giving back to their shareholders? I saw an article of one particular one giving back to the shareholders. So people have been coming in, but brothers and sisters, generally speaking, one hotel success versus 1,000 hotels in Dominica, that's probably too much. 100 hotels, 10 hotels success versus 100 hotels successes in Dominica is a huge difference. American Airlines is a key thing. We had daily flights and they had to reduce it because not much people was coming to Dominica and these hotels were there already. So the international airport might bring more people through. They can come directly. Yeah, I want to take a flight. Another thing is pricing too. So that service and boy. Oh,
five-star hotels that are constructed already and that are bringing in persons from all over the world.
And cupping top awards around the world.
Cupping top awards, Dominica.
Name 5 hotels that top awards in Dominica. All the hotels. Name 3. Name 3 hotels that top awards in Dominica.
Is on the tongue of every single news publication out.
And come on, bro. Come on.
Out there as one of the top places to visit. These are accolades that we never had before.
Okay.
So when they are talking about Fort Young and the places there back in the day, wasn't it the place to visit? Galway, wasn't these places on magazines before? No? Okay.
And so you can imagine every time I come to Dominica, last year I was in Dominica 5 times, every time I come on that American Eagle to come down, the plane full.
Of course it must be full. Because they reduced the flights. They reduced the flights, so it must be full. Remember, one of the plans of American Airlines was not just to have daily flights, but to increase daily flights to 2 daily flights per day. Remember? And that did not even materialize to the point where they say it's going to be seasonal, and seasonal never happened. Seasonal never happened, brothers and sisters. I did the vlog, when they told me that in the airport it's going to be seasonal. I was looking for the seasonal, checking, okay, it'll make sense that they come at this particular time for 6 months, and next 6 months, saying things not much does happen in that time frame, or the people that tend to come during that time frame, when you're from the Caribbean, then that would make sense that American Airlines does the thing in seasonal. That never happened. Right now, you get daily flights from America for American Airlines. Carnival season happening, brothers and sisters. I was looking at the season from October, November, December, January, February, March. From these times, brothers and sisters, starting October 1st to March 1st, 6 months you'll have a seasons because, a lot of people tend to come for Carnival season and there's also Christmas. A number of persons tend to come for Christmas and a number of persons tend to come for Carnival season. Which daily flights are happening in Dominica now, brothers and sisters? You can help me out? Help me out, please.
Not a seat.
That's why the previous video didn't come from Miami, no, brothers and sisters. It came from Barbados. Okay.
It's empty. And I'm not even talking about carnival time. Can imagine right now how it is. Right? And so I am saying,
I just showed you the plane go back, you know. So yes, it's needed an international airport, don't get me wrong, true. But can it be sustained? That is the key here.
what I'm saying is, guys, simply this. I mean, we need to employ good sense and let good sense prevail in this country.
So, not saying that you want to employ good sense and make good sense prevail means that you are saying things that are sensible, you know. You are saying things that are ideal, that should be one thing. But realistically, it's a different story. Yes, build the international airport. When the international airport comes, if it ever comes, brothers and sisters, then we can then weigh and see, okay, that makes sense, or that doesn't make sense. We can then weigh the factors. But Dominica is under serious pressure right now. Serious pressure right now. And like I said before, it's not just building international airport. The other airlines have to approve to fly to Dominica. You have to show them that you have done the proper testings and all those kind of things there for them to land in your country. You think it's so?
As I said, I have no problem with a man playing his politics to try to gain his political points. But that point I made was...
But what is he talking about? Thompson them say they don't want international airport. Which I... Boy. Oh boy.
Very clear. The international airport has been supported by every successive government, and I will go even a step further.
So we explained that. I myself, I think I go in circles over and over. I think I go in circles over and over. The point at present versus back then is two different times. We need an international airport. We definitely do. My question here is, can we sustain it, given our objective reality? Given our objective reality, you mean that we can't pay NEP workers? Boy, that's how. Let me finish, eh? Let me finish right there, brothers. They're talking about cutting. That's how. Hey, brothers and sisters, what are your thoughts, man? These are just my thoughts. What are your thoughts? Leave your thoughts in the comment box, guys. I don't think I'll be doing another reaction on a Mr. Leaks Reacts. This one is pretty long, so let me know your thoughts, brothers and sisters. Leave your thoughts in the comment box below, guys. Let me go and eat my lunch. I'll eat all the lunch already. So let me go and eat mine too. With that said right there, guys. Be real. Be positive. Don't forget to check out. Well, I don't know if that's gonna check out the previous reaction I done on this channel, brothers and sisters. And of course, subscribe and turn on that post notification so you can get all the videos as they tend to come through. Click the bell. After you subscribe, then click all to be notified when I drop all my videos right there. Guys, don't forget to hit that like button. I would appreciate that right there. And of course, I will see you guys in the next reaction video. Remember, guys, be real, be positive.